Disney wants you to think Ironheart was canceled because of low ratings, but that's not the real story. What if I told you this entire show was buried on purpose, before it ever had a chance? No big marketing push, lack of campaigns, just silence like it never existed. And as all of this was done for a reason, why was Disney really trying to hide Marvel's next-gen hero? To begin, when Ironheart finally dropped in 2025, it didn't feel like a Marvel event. It felt like a quiet release no one was supposed to notice. There were no billboards in Times Square and no viral ad campaigns such as Loki or WandaVision. Though the cast did some interviews, no late-night appearances, no big Marvel studio energy behind the push. Only 2 weeks have passed and all 6 episodes are already out. A really uncommon move. That's not how Marvel treats a hero they believe in. That's exactly how they bury a show. And when the inevitable headlines came, Ironheart underperforms, Disney didn't defend it. They let it die. And they blamed the ratings. But here's the truth. It was never about the ratings. This was a setup. To understand why Disney turned its back on Ironheart, you have to go back to the beginning. So before we get into Disney's new agenda, it's important to remember what Ironheart was supposed to be. Ironheart was announced back in 2020, and it was a really big deal for everyone. It would be a Disney Plus series centered on Riri Williams, a 15-year-old black girl from Chicago who's smarter than Tony Stark himself. In the comics, Riri is a prodigy, an MIT student who builds her own Iron Man suit in her dorm room, powered by grit, genius, and a stolen AI. She's not just a hero, she's a symbol of resilience, defying stereotypes and earning Tony Stark's respect as his protege. At the heart of Ironheart was Dominique Thorne. Fresh off her critically acclaimed role as Fred Hampton's partner in Judas and the Black Messiah, Thorne was a rising star with the charisma and depth to make Riri iconic. She not only accepted the role, but also embodied it. Thorne dove into Riri's world, studying engineering concepts to understand her character's genius. She watched Iron Man on repeat to capture Tony Stark's swagger, blending it with Riri's youthful defiance. In interviews, she talked about what Riri meant to her, a chance to inspire young black girls to see themselves as inventors, heroes, trailblazers. Thorne spent years preparing, from her 2022 cameo in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, where she stole scenes as Riri. Ironheart wasn't just a show. It was a cornerstone of Marvel's Next Generation Avengers initiative. Alongside Miss Marvel and Hawkeye, it was meant to pass the torch to new heroes after Avengers Endgame.
Marvel teased a future where Riri, Kamala Khan, and Kate Bishop could team up, maybe even facing off against Kang in Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Early leaks praised its mix of tech-heavy action, like Riri's suit-building sequences, and emotional depth, like her struggles as a young black woman in a world that underestimates her. But then, Disney pulled the plug on that dream. Ironheart was slated for a 2023 release, perfectly timed to build on Riri's Wakanda Forever debut. Instead, it was delayed over a year, to 2025. There was no clear explanation, no media event, just a vague line in a Disney shareholder report buried among financial jargon. The delay wasn't just a scheduling hiccup, it was really a death sentence. When Ironheart finally dropped in 2025, it didn't feel like a Marvel event. It felt like a quiet release no one was supposed to notice. And after quietly releasing it with zero fanfare, Disney let it sink. Then they blamed the ratings. But ratings don't tell the story when you don't give fans a chance to watch. This was a calculated move, a betrayal of everything Ironheart stood for. Dominique Thorne, Chinaka Hodge, and the crew deserved better. The fans deserved better. And Riri Williams, a hero who inspired so many, deserved better. So why would Disney sabotage a show they poured millions into producing? To answer that, we need to peel back the layers of Disney's corporate machine and zoom in on one man, Bob Iger. To see the context, by 2022, Disney was in chaos. The MCU, once an untouchable giant, was stumbling. Phase 4 was a whirlwind. WandaVision and Loki were hits, but Thor: Love and Thunder and Secret Invasion got mixed reviews. Disney Plus was bleeding subscribers, with reports in 2022 showing a slowdown in growth. Wall Street was hammering Disney stock, down nearly 40% from its 2021 peak. Bob Chapek, the CEO at the time, was under fire for mismanaging the company's streaming strategy and alienating fans with price hikes. In November 2022, they ousted Chapek and brought back Bob Iger, the man who'd led Disney through its golden era, acquiring Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and building the MCU into a cultural titan. Iger returned with a mission: fix Disney's mess. In his first earnings call in February 2023, he laid out a new vision: quality over quantity. Marvel would produce fewer projects, focusing on high-impact releases to restore the MCU's shine. On paper, it sounded smart: fewer shows, better execution. But dig deeper, and you'll see what quality really meant. It wasn't about bold storytelling or diverse voices. It was about safe bets, nostalgic cash grabs, and projects guaranteed to please shareholders. Think Deadpool and Wolverine, with its built-in fan base, Ryan Reynolds' charm, and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine nostalgia. That movie got a $200 million marketing blitz. Super Bowl ads, global premiere tours, social media campaigns flooding your feed. Compare that to Ironheart, which got nothing. When Iger took over, Marvel was in the middle of Phase 5, a lineup announced in 2020 that promised a new era of heroes. Ironheart, Ms. Marvel, Hawkeye, Echo, these are supposed to be the next generation Avengers, passing the torch from Iron Man and Captain America to Riri Williams, Kamala Khan, and Kate Bishop. But under Iger, the priorities shifted hard. Disney doubled down on sequels and legacy characters. Captain America: Brave New World got a massive push, with Anthony Mackie as the new Cap. Thunderbolts brought back familiar faces like Bucky Barnes and Yelena Belova. Deadpool and Wolverine leaned on nostalgia for the Fox X-Men era. These were safe, bankable projects with proven audiences. But experimental shows or diverse leads, they were suddenly on the chopping block. Look at the pattern. Echo, a Native American-led series, dropped in 2024 with minimal hype. Marketing not from the top, no extravagant fanfare, just a silent launch on Disney+. These weren't just flops, they were projects Disney didn't believe in, so they didn't try. Ironheart was next in line, and the signs were clear from the start. The evidence is completely undeniable. Ironheart was originally set for a 2023 release, perfectly timed to capitalize on Riri's debut in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Instead, Disney delayed it to 2025, over a year, with no clear explanation. A vague line in a shareholder report mentioned scheduling adjustments, but people weren't really buying it. Why is Disney sitting on Ironheart? It felt like sabotage. When the show finally dropped, Disney's neglect was blatant. No ad blitz like we saw with WandaVision, no late-night interviews or mainstream media buzz like Loki enjoyed. Yes, the cast did some press, but Disney didn't amplify it. No trending moments, no big studio push to make it feel like a must-watch event. And most telling, no viewership stats, no Nielsen numbers, no celebratory milestone tweets. It's not that Disney couldn't show us how Ironheart performed, it's that they didn't want to. To really compare this to paint the picture, Deadpool and Wolverine had a marketing budget estimated at $200 million. Think billboards in Times Square, Super Bowl trailers, and Twitter posts from Ryan Reynolds himself. Loki Season 2 got months of hype, with Tom Hiddleston on every talk show from Kimmel to Fallon. Ironheart, zero. No Disney Plus homepage banner, no sponsored ads, no cast appearances. The reason that Disney would do this is because they want control. Iger's Disney wants an MCU that's predictable, profitable, and safe for Wall Street. A show like Ironheart, with its black female lead and themes of systemic struggle, was too risky for their new vision. Riri Williams isn't a nostalgic cash cow like Wolverine or a guaranteed hit like Spider-Man. Her story challenges the status quo, and Disney didn't want that.
So they starved Ironheart, delayed it, underpromoted it, and set it up to fail. When it underperformed, they had their excuse to cancel it, blaming low ratings. But how can a show succeed when it's hidden from view? This isn't incompetence, it's a playbook. Delay the release, skimp on marketing, cancel it quietly, and repeat. This isn't just about Ironheart. It's about a company reshaping the MCU to fit a narrow, shareholder-friendly mold. They're betting we won't notice, that we'll accept their excuses about ratings and move on. But we're not that gullible. The MCU was built on risk. Think Iron Man in 2008, a B-list hero that launched $1 billion franchise. Disney's forgotten that spirit, and Ironheart paid the price. This isn't just about a canceled show. It's about real people who believed in Riri Williams' story, only to be abandoned by a corporate giant. Thorne's dedication was unreal. She didn't just memorize lines, she dove deep into Riri's world. She spent hours in stunt training, mastering the physicality of Riri's action scenes. Think flipping through the air in that red and gold suit. Ramos spent weeks learning choreography for fight scenes, nailing the balance of menace and depth. Stunt coordinators designed sequences that rivaled Iron Man's best, with Riri soaring through the sky or dodging explosions. Writers layered in references to Riri's comic roots like her MIT days or her clashes with villains like Ten Rings operatives. Showrunner Shaneka Hodge, a poet, playwright, and Oakland native, brought a unique vision to Ironheart. She wasn't just crafting a superhero story, she was weaving a tapestry of Black identity, community, and innovation. Hodge drew from her own experiences, infusing the show with themes of systemic barriers and personal triumph. In a 2024 interview, she told fans, "If you love Ironheart, stream it into a season 2. That quote wasn't just a tagline, it was a cry for help. Hodge knew the show was special. A chance to redefine what a Marvel hero could be. Co-stars like Anthony Ramos brought charm and intensity as a key character. Alden Ehrenreich of Solo: A Star Wars Story fame added gravitas. The cast filmed for months, building chemistry through long nights and complex action action scenes. Behind-the-scenes photos show them on set, believing they were part of something groundbreaking. This was a labor of love, a project that could have been a cultural touchstone. After filming wrapped in 2022, Ironheart sat on the shelf for over a year, 2023 to 2025. No updates, no teasers, just deafening silence. The cast and crew waited, their excitement fading as months turned into years. This is personal. It's about a company that claims to champion diversity but drops the ball when it counts. The betrayal hits hard when you think about Ironheart's cultural significance. Riri Williams was no mere hero. She was the lamp that lit the way for the communities that were not represented. To young Black girls, she was the manifestation that they could be geniuses, inventors, and leaders. Disney's betrayal has not only taken from them, but also from us, a hero who represented us and was still missing. Ironheart's cancellation isn't a one-off mistake. It's part of a chilling, deliberate pattern. Disney's been quietly erasing projects that don't fit their new, sanitized vision for the MCU. This isn't just about Riri Williams. It's about a company systematically sidelining bold, diverse, and risky stories in favor of safe, nostalgic cash grabs. Let's connect the dots and expose the bigger picture, because what happened to Ironheart is a symptom of a much deeper problem. This is a playbook, and Ironheart was a textbook case. Delay the release, 2023 to 2025. Skimp on marketing, no ads, no banner. Release it quietly, 2 weeks, no fanfare. Cancel it, citing ratings. Rinse and repeat. This pattern isn't new, it's rooted in Disney's history. Look at their live-action remakes, The Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. Safe, nostalgic, billion-dollar hits. Compare that to riskier projects like Mufasa, The Lion King in 2024, which got less marketing and underperformed. Disney's always leaned toward what's predictable, but the MCU was supposed to be different. Iron Man in 2008 was a gamble. A B-list hero, a recovering addict as the lead, directed by a relatively untested Jon Favreau. It worked because Marvel took a chance. Black Panther in 2018 broke barriers with a Black-led cast and African-inspired story, earning $1.3 billion and an Oscar nod. But Iger's Disney has forgotten that spirit. They're betting fans won't care, that we'll accept their ratings excuse and move on. They're wrong. The loss of Ironheart isn't just about one show, it's about what it represents. Riri Williams was a chance to inspire a new generation, to show Black girls they could be heroes, to prove the MCU could evolve. Erasing her story, along with others like Echo and Armor Wars, sends a message. Disney's more interested in shareholder value than cultural impact.